Okay, with the creative team of Reminisce, we're with two actors, Wayne and Roger, and we're also with Ashna, who is the lead actress, and she's also the writer and producer of the short film. It's 11 minutes long, played at the Female Filmmakers Festival. What an interesting film. So, where did you like? You wrote the script. Where did this is this like semi-autobiographical? Like, where does this idea come from?
Kind of, yeah. It's actually loosely inspired by my own life.
Yeah.
I'm
I had a
married to
feeling.
some.
I don't know why. I just had a feeling. Yeah.
I know. I kind of have a May December relationship, I guess, but I'm married to somebody who's 10 years older,
Okay.
and we've been married for actually a little over 10 years now. And so, in the process of when I was dating him and when I wanted to marry him, my parents and a lot of my friends, like my people my age, were a little bit like, oh, I don't know about this. And there was definitely some drama on both sides.
Really? 10 years?
Yeah, just for 10
Yeah.
years. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. So
I guess
I
it's a
thought,
different generation, right? So, but it also depends how old you are. Like if you're 17, he's 27, that's a little crazy. But then
well, yeah, but I was quite young when I
okay.
was married. So I was very young when I got married. So it was one of those where my dad was like, so yeah, it was
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like if it's you're like that, but then if you're like 46 and 56, you're almost the same age,
right,
right? Yeah.
right. Yeah, no, it's true. It makes a difference depending on what age, like at what age you are.
And that's
But
where the kind of the idea came from you.
that's where the idea came from. That and my grandmother and my grandfather had a student tutor like relationship, and they fell in love, and so just kind of marrying that with my own kind of love story, I decided to write Reminisce. And then Wayne, who plays Brian, is someone who I've wanted to work with a long time, but he and I have a very large age gap. And so I thought, well, this makes it even better and more cinematic and more interesting than just like a 10-year age gap. So.
So I'm assuming you wrote it because you wanted to star. You wrote something for yourself. You wanted to star in something that as well.
Well, I actually wrote it for something that Wayne could do. That was actually why I wrote it.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, when I write myself into what I
Okay.
write.
Gotcha.
But my original intent was to showcase Wayne because he's a former rocket scientist and he sings and he plays the guitar, and so like I kind of wrote Brian around him. So yeah.
So Wayne, I got to get to the rocket scientist thing in a second, but where did you meet Ashna?
We met actually online during virtual table read weekly event that happened during the pandemic. And so
Okay.
in 2020 and 2021, I was living in Ohio at the time actually, and moved out to LA in 2021. So we had known each other virtually via little Zoom windows, and actually met in person in 2021, and we just stayed creative partners, or had been around each other long enough that comfortable with each other enough to become creative partners and make things happen.
That's cool.
So I was a rocket scientist until about 2021. Then I
So
stopped.
during
So
COVID, you
don't
changed.
ask me to science any rockets anymore, please.
No, but you changed your kind of career, like I'm assuming.
Yeah, so as a career, I was as an aerospace engineer, and I would act on the side and play guitar and sing on the side. And after I left aerospace engineering, I decided to move more deeply into what had been my hobby.
Had been your hobby. So then now you're just kind of acting. I've heard these stories before. I had a friend of mine who didn't start acting until his 40s, and he's doing very well for himself. He's in his 60s now. He did very well for himself, and he kind of like changed careers as well, and like had like I don't know this, you know, there's all these factors involved, right? Like if you
Oh,
have
of course.
the means and the support, I guess those are the two main factors that you're
Oh,
able
yeah.
to.
So I've been acting most of my life. So since I was a teenager, I've been
Yeah,
acting, but not as my main career. It was aerospace. So actually, in school, I had a choice when I went to school. I enjoyed acting, but I was also very good at math and science. So I liked aerospace engineering. I thought I could pursue aerospace engineering and do acting as a hobby, or I could pursue acting and not eat. And so I chose
Yeah.
the
Or
first.
you're supposed to say and do aerospace engineering as a hobby, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's dangerous. Don't do this at home, please.
So then she just showed you the script and said that I wrote something and I'd love for you to play it. Is that what the next step was?
I don't remember the exact next step, but this was something that she had been writing for a while, and I feel very fortunate to have been a creative partner with Ashna for as long as I have.
That's usually how it goes. I write something and I send it to him and I say, "Hey, what do you think?" So that's typically how our relationship goes.
And you guys both live in the LA area?
Hmm.
We do.
And then Roger, where how did you get part of the project?
I met Ashna in an acting studio probably a good 8 years ago, wouldn't you say, Ashna?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
When I
maybe
moved to
even
LA. Yeah, it's been a while.
yeah, 2017, 2018-ish.
2018.
And
2018 is
yeah,
when I moved here. Yeah.
2018. And we were classmates, became friends. And how should we move forward to 2025, 2024? And she asked me if I wanted to audition for this film. And I read the script and was more than happy. I'm nowhere near a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
Um, I was I was more of a musclehead when I was a teenager. I wanted to be a bodybuilder. Go figure. But I also wanted to act too because I read comic books and I would create superheroes and write stories and little plays about superheroes. You can ask my best friend about that one.
Gotcha. And then who Leslie Morris was the director. How did they come on?
Yeah, so I brought on Leslie. Leslie Roger and I all know each other from Actors Workout Studio. So it's the same acting school in it used to be in North Hollywood. I think they've moved locations now. But we knew each other and then Leslie has kind of pivoted and she is more interested in directing. And so that kind of, so she pushed for that career choice a few years back. And she had cast me in a film and had directed me. And so I thought, well, I feel like she would be a perfect fit for this. So I sent her the script and I was lucky to have her come on board. And then we did casting together. So Roger was someone that we both knew. Um, so we were really excited when he agreed to read for it.
And then it's really one location, right? So it has its own little kind of character kind of in the film. So where did you shoot it?
We shot it at an Airbnb actually in
Okay,
Woodland Hills.
gotcha.
Yeah. But we got permission. I'm gonna specify that. We didn't
Yeah,
just like rent out a house and not tell them what we were doing.
yeah.
we we ironically shot it at a house by the JC College where I took my first acting class. So
Oh,
I
I didn't
I
know
came
that.
full I 35 years later I came full circle.
Well,
that's
I think
so
there's
cute.
like
I
I
didn't know
think there's
that.
even an Airbnb like location like site where you can like rent a location like a film location, right?
Oh,
So
yeah, there's Pure Space and Gigster, and that location is on both. So that's how I knew that it wasn't like a traditional, because most Airbnbs, like you can't actually rent for filming purposes because just they usually have warnings against that.
yeah,
But sometimes when you're looking, and in my case, I was looking at all three sites,
yeah,
and
gotcha.
she had her listing on all three sites, so I knew that she was okay with filming. So when I contacted her, I asked her about that.
So how would you like thematically? What do you like? What do you think you're trying to say? Because I obviously have my own impression, but what do you think you're trying? What are you trying to say in this film?
Well, I feel like I'm more curious than hearing your impression first.
Go ahead, go ahead. I'd
Favorite.
like to hear it. Yeah.
Um, so there's several themes that I touch on in this film, or that my goal was for the audience to get. So one is obviously the age gap love, which is the most obvious thing. Second is the intergenerational um, drama that can happen culturally. So in my case, there was an interracial aspect to the marriage.
Yeah.
So that's also something. And family estrangement is another one that I wanted to touch on. Now, granted, that's kind of tied closely to um, South Asian culture, just in the fact that this marriage was essentially the reason why I had to become estranged from the rest of my family.
Mm.
And then there's also just overall societal judgment and peer pressure that happens, and that's something that's touched upon. And then there's ageism as well. So, yeah, those are kind of like the main themes, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
It's sort of what I like. It's sort of like your character has put a lot into this relationship more than others, meaning that, as you just described, where like she gave up family for this, right? She gave up I can argue that she gave up a piece of her culture for this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And so if he's dishonest and he's not who you think he is, that's even more devastating than a normal kind of
Right. Right.
betrayal, I
Yeah.
guess, right? Because you gave up so
Yeah.
much, right?
hmm
So
That's correct. And then power imbalances is also a big one, but that kind of speaks to the age gap love aspect of
yeah.
it.
No, it's interesting to being in that like that generation where like you're I love that shot where he's like kind of playing the guitar like a cool guy and they're like listening to him and then there's a shot of you like at the kitchen and you're kind of out of focus and
Mm.
the three of them are connecting and you're like, that you're like far away, like very far away, symbolically,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
right.
you're not with them. You're not with this throuple or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Leslie did a great job in choosing that shot because the whole goal of one of the goals that she had was for me to feel like an outsider in my own home.
Yeah,
And that I think that shot is very um, a great way to display that.
yeah, 100%. So Roger, what did you think about like the experience working on set with everybody?
Well, everybody was from Grey's Anatomy because Leslie was a camera operator in Grey's Anatomy. So we had a lot of that crew, which
Yeah,
you know is high level. But I felt that myself and Elisa, that plays my wife, we were the George and Martha. Virginia Woolf. We were the George and
yeah.
Martha
Okay.
couple.
It's an
You
interesting
know,
way to put it. Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
I guess, yeah. We were the good time Charlies. So her more than me.
Yeah,
That kind of were the catalyst that started this whole thing, really.
yeah. So then basically there's going to be a sequel and you guys are like a bunch of drunk lushes who never had kids and so I'm just doing Virginia Woolf, sorry. I'm just
There
jumping
is
on your
meant to be a
analogy.
Well,
feature, but
it's hard
Well,
to top Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, but yeah.
yeah. So the is there a feature script? Like is there a feature idea within this short?
yeah, it was always meant to be a feature. I just couldn't necessarily pull that off on my own, so we raised money to do the short, like a proof of concept.
Gotcha. So you have the features are written?
It's almost done.
Okay.
But I have it, I mean, I have the idea fully in the sense of like exactly the structure and what. It's a little complicated because there's two versions that I would be pitching. One is like the lower budget version and one is the higher budget version. So it's kind of I'm still exploring which avenue to pursue.
Okay. I just write the higher budget and they can scale it down.
Yeah, I know. The higher
Yeah.
budget is like it ta half of it takes place in India and half of it takes place in America.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's like
Well,
the very beautiful big vision idea that I have for this feature.
well, it's Los Angeles. They can make
Yeah,
it
they
look
could
like
cheat
India.
it. They could potentially cheat it. That's true.
Gotcha. And so, and then so there's obviously there's a very it's like there's two scenes between you and Wayne, right? Like that kind of like bookend the film. The
Mhm.
beginning where everything seems great, and then the ending where like I guess stuff comes out, right? So
Mhm.
was the ending shot of you guys just kind of sitting there and you kind of looking out, was that always your intention to have that the end of the film like that?
Yeah, yeah. It always ended on the idea of I think the big difference that when Leslie came on is we added a line, which is I'm going to go home to visit my family, but otherwise it did kind of end on him thinking that this is just an argument that we'll get over and
Yeah,
me not kind of
it lingers, I guess, right?
say it again.
It's gonna linger, right? So,
Yeah, it's gonna linger and it's gonna fester. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
which is, it's a way to like you kind of visually told that kind of and that's what happens in many marriages and relationships where like one person's oblivious of the conversation, how big it is, right? And then
right.
two people, it's like two people are having a married couple who are connected are having two completely different conversations, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so you brought Leslie. So you guys mentioned Grey's Anatomy, like so she works on Grey's Anatomy. I see
She's a
in her IMDb.
Yeah, that's actually where she is tonight, which is why she couldn't come
Gotcha.
on. But she's a camera operator for Grey's.
Yeah.
She's done other big shows, like The Terminal List, I think, and others. But Grey's is like her big kind of
Yeah.
one.
It's a show that keeps on going, right? So
Right, right. Yeah, and she's been on it for a very long time.
and then so she brought in some of her like her the crew to work on the film.
Some of them, yeah. So the DP, our editor, so Perry, Mario, our first ACs, Diona and Camille, as well as our second AC, Robert. Those
Yeah.
were all of them were from Grace, and I think Michael was a connection she had as well, who was our gaffer.
And were you part of the editing expert? Like how did you kind of work with the editor and you and Leslie? Did you guys work together or what was that process?
Yeah, so Leslie worked with Perry from the beginning, like for the most part, like the bulk of it, until she felt like she had the director's cut. And then I came on after to review it, and then we would go through rounds of changes to essentially cut it down.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my
So Wayne and Roger, what did you guys think of the film when you saw it for the first time?
Well, I think I can speak for every actor. It's always hard to watch yourself, not watch your work. And I will say this: I immediately liked it, and the more I watch it, the more I like it, and the more I pick up the subtleties that are in the through line of the script. Um, it's, I mean, the film fires a lot of different cylinders. You know, at first, I didn't know. I still can't pick a side who's right in the argument at the end of the film. Uh,
Well, I think that's the nuance.
Mhm.
I don't think anybody's right, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's scary. Her ex is coming over. His ex is coming over,
Yeah.
and not to mention she's two sheets to the wind. Um, but the more I watch the film, the more I really appreciate it. The more I appreciate it being a photographer, the more I appreciate the cinematography, direction, and things like that, and the sound. I'm not forgetting the sound speed.
Yeah, it is a beautiful film. One of the first things that impressed me when seeing it for the first time was how beautiful it is, how beautifully it was shot. The editing is great because, as Roger said, there are so many pieces to this story, and it all starts with a script. But all those pieces of the script came through in the performances, and they were captured beautifully by the camera crew, and assembled beautifully by the editing. So every step of the way, people brought their game to this project, and I think it's just a beautiful film because of that.
You must feel honored that she wrote a role for you. Like she kind of
I'm
wrote the
honored to
character.
be her friend. I'm just honored to be
Yeah.
on this earth at the same time she is. And she's a great actor, a tremendous writer, just a wonderful human being.
So your IMDb photo, it's funny. It's like you look like a kid. I'm
Do
sure
I?
you told that
Yeah,
before.
I'm older than I look, and I'm younger than I feel. It's just
I'm assuming that's why you have the beard because it's like you got this baby face.
this is my winter beard. Yeah, so I look older in the winter than I do in the summer.
Yeah, yeah. Like you really have a baby face. It's
Oh, you're
crazy.
very kind. Yeah. Yeah. So try to cast me.
So okay, so well, you could play the younger version of you, right? So that's
Perfect.
basically, yeah,
I'll shave the beard, and
Benjamin
I'll
Buttons.
yeah,
yeah. Just dye your hair a little bit, right?
perfect.
Can I mention something?
Yeah,
The song that Wayne sings
yeah.
was written and composed by an 18-year-old boy, right? A kid.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if he was 18 at the time he wrote
Okay.
it, but he is quite young. So Truman Chester is an incredible, like, up and coming musician, singer-songwriter, and he's just very like his singing voice is like so beyond his age. Like you would never guess that he is so young. Um, and I'm friends with his mother, and so I just when he came out with this beautiful song, "Sound of Your Smile," which is the key song that kind of
Yeah.
is the arc to the film, and that's what Wayne does a cover for. And the in the end credits, you can actually hear the real song play, his voice. And so when she shared it with me, because she was so excited that this was like his new big single, I just fell in love with the song, and it kept. I had a placeholder song for Reminisce, like just like random lyrics, made up things. It wasn't anything big, but then when I heard that song, I was like, oh my God, I have to have this in the film because it makes the film. So yeah, we were really lucky to get that permission to license
That's
it.
so cool. And then I'm assuming he saw the film and he liked
He
someone
did,
Wayne
yeah.
doing his version.
Yeah, he came to the world premiere at LA Shorts with his mother and my friend, and it was just this cutest thing to see him see it live on the big screen. And it was at Regal LA Live, so it's
Yeah.
a really beautiful
We've
theater.
done mini festivals there back in the day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so then you know it. Yeah, their
Yeah.
sound system's great, and
LA
it was
Live.
just
Yeah. How's it doing? I used to go there every month back in the day. Yeah.
it's still going strong. I mean, yeah, it's a great theater.
And so, okay, so do you get speaking of that, it seems like it's doing well at the festival circuit, getting into a bunch of festivals. How does that feel?
I rewarding. I mean, it's always nice to be able to see your film on the screen and have different audiences react to it. So I think it's been a blessing. And we've gotten, you know, the entire cast and crew has received recognition from it, so I couldn't be more happy about it.
So it feels good. Must feel good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And something you wrote. I like that. So what's next? What's next for the three of you? What are you guys gonna do now?
Roger, you want to go first?
Sure. I am getting ready to shoot a short film based on a one-act play that I wrote
Oh,
at
awesome.
Ashna, and I'll be real brief. It's about a hitman, a dark comedy, or rather, I'm sorry, let me take that back. It's a hit woman. A friend who's producing it says, "Look, can I put my fingerprints on your script?" I said, "Sure, go ahead." And you know what? She made it better. So I'm looking forward to shooting this.
That's amazing. That sounds really
You gotta leave your ego at the door sometimes.
Yeah, of course. So are you directing it or
No, I'm one of the leads,
okay.
and Jenny is producing it, and someone else is directing it.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
yeah, and we're it's pre-production is always exciting because you feel like, hey, there's once you light the fire, there's no turning back.
Yeah. How about yourself, Wayne?
A variety of things. So Ashna and I have several other projects in the works in post-production. We have three films in post-production right now, one of which I directed. So I have my directorial debut on an amazing script. And again, it all starts with the script, and Ashna has many. Something I did this past year that was fun and may continue into this year. I was part of My Chemical Romance's stadium tour. So that was something I didn't see on my bingo card. It wasn't even on the bingo card. It came out of nowhere. It's just something you audition for and you have no idea what it is, and things happen. And so I've been on touring with a rock band basically
Wow.
on and off. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. This second career seems to be doing well for yourself.
So far, so good. You meet amazing people, and you see how much creativity there is, and how much more there is to bring to the world. I'm just honored to be part of it.
Cool. So what about you, Ashna? You gonna turn this into a feature?
yes. 100%. That is my dream to see that happen. So that, and then Wayne already mentioned the projects that we have, but then there's also I'm in the process of rewriting two feature scripts of mine that are in the horror genre. So one of which I'm really hoping to make this year. So
Oh
we'll see.
wow, yeah. Well, independent horrors have a big market, so as you probably
Yeah.
know, right?
Yep. And that's why I pivoted and I and I decided to put Reminisce on hold for a little bit, so that until the circuit's done and all that,
Well,
to
there's
focus.
something there. There's definitely something in your film. It does resonate on like I said, it hits a lot of levels, and I think that the universal emotion of like being at a group of people and not fitting in and not feeling comfortable. I think everybody can kind of relate to that. Everybody's been in that experience, to a certain extent, right? So yeah,
No,
so I
thank you
get
for
it.
saying that.
It's so funny because it's my personally, I remember I was like 25 and I was dating somebody who was still in university and she was 19 and she invited me to go to like hang out with her friends at university, and I felt so weird. It was like the oldest I've ever felt in my life, and I was only 25, but I felt like I'm like an old man. It's like I'm like it was only a few years since I left this world, right? But it's like I felt like, and that's I don't know why, but that's what jumped out for me when I watched this film.
Yeah.
That's what's great about these films is that everybody has their own personal experience with it, right? So
Yeah. No,
yeah,
thank you for sharing that.
yeah. You set up an emotion and then people react, right? So,
hmm
yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Great. I would love to see this into a feature, and congratulations on the success of it. It's not many films is getting the awards that yours, especially dramas, right? So that and you guys kind of just it's subtle and it's simple in its concept, but it's there's like I said, there's a lot of layers there. So best of luck to you.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
All right.
Thank you very
Well, hope to
much.
talk to you guys again, either individually or together again, and enjoy the rest of your night.
It'll be
You
awesome.
Thank
too.
you.
Have a
Bye.
nice